Most people are failing at rent to rent because they think the business model doesn't work, but they actually chose the wrong strategy. They chose a strategy that doesn't suit them. So I want to explain a bit more what I mean by that. What I see is there's a lot of Instagram mentors. There's tons of them, right? And it can all look quite flashy. It can all seem very appealing on the front end, and then you kind of just join and you run with that. You know, you might have seen a certain screenshot, watched a certain reel. It's mad. Some people don't need much convincing. I'm someone that needs weeks and weeks of convincing to go with a mentor, where people have joined my mentorship with just following me for one day. So this is what I mean. People might see a screenshot, they might watch an incredible reel. People are watching the loudest person on social media, and they're choosing a strategy which seems very exciting at the time. Not choosing a strategy which they think, you know, is this sustainable with my lifestyle long term? So this video is choosing the best rent-to-rent strategy for you, not the one that just looks the most exciting online at the present time. So I speak to a lot of people and everybody's like, yeah, I want to get started in rent to rent. And I'm like, okay, which strategy? And they say rent to rent. So there are a lot of strategies that sit under the umbrella of rent to rent. You've got service accommodation, which is Airbnb. That's rent to rent, which is where you rent the property and then Airbnb it. You've also got Airbnb management, where you're going to manage the property on behalf of the landlord. So you don't pay the rent, you don't pay the expenses. You've got rent to rent HMO. You've got deal sourcing. You've got social housing and all of the strategies that fit under the umbrella of social housing, such as management, back-to-back leasing, temporary accommodation. Yeah, so it's not just one strategy. These are not just different versions of the same thing. These are fundamentally different businesses. They each carry different risks, different tolerances, different workloads, different skill sets, and different personalities. Your personality might thrive in this one over here, but you've actually been sold this one. So when someone says, oh, rent to rent doesn't work, what they actually mean to say is the version they chose didn't suit them. So beginners are asking the wrong question. So people ask, which one is the easiest? Which one can I scale the fastest? And which one makes the most money? It's like, I want to choose the easy, and easy. I get it. Everybody would love an easier life, right? But the real question is, which one can I run consistently for the next 3 to 5 years without hating my life? Because guys, this is not a get rich quick scheme, no matter how much you may already think it is by watching some people online and Instagram. This is a business. You will be starting and running a business. It's not something you just get into to make a quick buck. I know you may already think that, but you'd be surprised how many people I speak to. It's like, how many hours per week do I need to work? How easy is it to make 10K? It's like, how long's a piece of string? Do you want to run a business? Do you want to own your own business? Be your own boss. This isn't make a few phone calls and you're making 10K a month doing 2 to 4 hours a week. It's a business. So service accommodation gives you the highest level of control over demand and pricing. So you choose how the property is positioned, who's your target market, and then you kit it out according to that. You choose the pricing and you control the marketing, and then it's up to you whether you want to control the optimization of it or just chuck it on Airbnb and hope for the best. But you control everything, and the better you do, the better the outcome. So the level of control is really cool. I love it. But it does come with its operational responsibilities. You've got the guest management, you've got the reviews, you've got the cleans and the cleaning team to manage, the systems you need to operate, and the constant optimization of it throughout the seasons. So service accommodation is perfect for people that love operations and optimizing the performance. It does not suit people who just want passive income or hands off. So if you hate attention to detail, service accommodation might exhaust you. Don't let that put you off. It's pretty cool. It is pretty cool. I really enjoy it. When your phone goes off and you're excited to look, it's like a Christmas present every day. Right, well, every time the notification goes off, you look at it, you're like, how many nights and how much is it for? So here's one I had recently, 6 nights. I also had one, somebody's booked a week in August already. So seeing these numbers, it's exciting, it's all worth it. So Airbnb management is very much the same, but we are now in a services business. So you do not own the rental risk. What you bring to the table is the monetization skill, right? You have the skills to make more money out of that property using the strategy that you want to implement. This is perfect if you want cash flow without tying up money itself. If you have good connections with landlords and they trust you. But you are selling your time and expertise. The better you are, the better it becomes. The more skills you have, the better you can implement the systems, the more you can scale. The more money you make, the more money your landlords make. It's a win-win situation. So if you like the fulfillment of doing an amazing job for your customer, this is epic. If you love the fact of you're controlling an asset and you're doing such a good job, this is a very strong model. So another example, I'm managing an Airbnb unit for the landlord. We had a 68 night booking come in for 6,400, something like that, 6,200, 6,500, I can't remember, just over £6,000. The landlord will get about £5,000 of that. I get 20% of the revenue for managing it. He was buzzing. But the fulfillment for me is I get to call the landlord and be like, yeah, I've just secured this, you'll get this much. And it's like incredible. For me and for them. They put their trust in me and I've delivered. That is an incredible feeling to be able to deliver on my promise. But not only that, that was one booking. We've had many inquiries. One is just converted today. So for the next 3 months, that property is fully booked up every single day. Rent to rent HMO, this is the legacy rent to rent one. It's been a stable ship for a long time. There's thousands of student properties and they all have a HMO license. That is the property we go for. We don't take a property and convert it to a HMO. It's not what we do at all. So we do not touch the compliance side at all. We're not converting the properties. We focus purely on running the operations well. So HMO runs amazingly once a property is filled. And once it is filled, this absolutely becomes a people business. Managing tenants, selecting the tenants. So, you're putting people in one house. You better be good at pairing people, matching personalities, because you're creating house dynamics. You set the standards as well. You're responsible for the standards. If I was to say it differently, responsible for the standards. And managing tenant expectations. I like to flip that and be like, you should set the expectations based on your standards. So HMO, rent to rent HMO is perfect for people that want stable income, but are happy to manage people. It does not suit people who hate dealing with humans. So deal sourcing is also epic. They're all epic, but this one is brilliant because this is sales, marketing and packaging deals. You are monetizing access and deal flow. This suits people who are confident at facilitating transactions, dealing with estate agents, landlords, potential investors at all levels. You can easily build trust with people. You're not shy. Don't get me wrong, you don't have to instantly step into being an expert. Yeah, I was very nervous when I was brand new. You get confident with experience. So can you start as a deal source as an absolute newbie? Yeah, you can. You just got to follow the process, the path that is put in front of you, and just follow the process. If you struggle to build trust with people, you might struggle with this business model. It also relies on being fully compliant and very transparent on that, because people will run their due diligence on you. Being credible and being consistent. So this is not a passive business model. This is a performance-based business. So social housing is also epic. This is about creating a long-term stable business. So back-to-back leasing can lock in very long-term contracts, which would then in turn lock in long-term income. Then you've got social housing management. So that creates a recurring fees without the rental risk. So this is perfect for the people that love long-term locked-in contracts and constant predictable cash flow. Doesn't suit people who are chasing fast wins, get in, get out kind of thing. Then you've got rent to social housing, the temporary accommodation model. This is very good cash flow. There's many people making very good money out of TA, temporary accommodation. The good sides is the cash flow can be absolutely incredible. Doesn't take long to start hitting big numbers on not many properties. The downsides is the cash flow is controlled by the council. They can pull the plug with little as 48 hours notice. You're under their umbrella of policies. If their policies shift, if their budgets change, if the contracts have come to an end, and they're not very long contracts. So this suits people that want kind of fast cash flow. One main customer being councils. The downsides are the council really are in control. There's no real exit strategy unless it's in a very good area to run as an Airbnb afterwards if it did go wrong. So this doesn't really suit people that want stability and control. So it's very obvious most people quit because they picked a strategy that doesn't align with the type of person they are. They've chosen hype over their personality. So when the novelty of trying to get this business up and running wears off, running the operations day to day just didn't suit them. So they write it off like, yeah, rent to rent doesn't work. So rent to rent absolutely works. I've been doing it over 5 years now. I'm still actively doing rent to rent deals. It only works when you do a bit more research. Don't just go over hype. If this is the first video you've ever watched, I've done over 800 videos, all on rent to rent. Do some research, guys. Find the one that you want to go into all in and it actually be worth it, and you start to love it for years to come.